Hey, good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? My name is Lance. I'm the North Dakota Carnivore, and today is Saturday. So that means it's the weekend meeting for accountability. And how's everybody doing this morning? It's actually been a really nice week here. We've had some amazing temperatures finally, well above freezing for the most part. Even going overnight now, the last 4 or 5 days, our temperatures have been tremendously better than what they normally are. Oh man, I knew I forgot to do something this morning. Sitting in here setting stuff up, and I'm watching other videos and doing other stuff. And just a couple minutes before I was supposed to go live here, I look at the timer that usually shows how much time I have left before the live stream starts. And the damn thing said that I was on Sunday. So I connected and pulled up the wrong live stream, set it all up, had everything in that I wanted. And it was just one of those mornings where it just didn't work out so well. And the other thing I forgot to do is I forgot to connect my headset. I'm going to connect this here real quick. Where am I? And it says a connection didn't work. Let's start out right. Hey, good morning, Uncle Willie. How you doing today? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this now. It connected to my phone, no problem. I restarted my computer. Bluetooth is on for that. And it's not going to connect. Well, I might have to just give this here up for this tonight or today. Okay, well, I'm going to give that up. I'm not going to sit here and waste any more time trying to do that. So, good morning, Beatrice. How are you this morning? Where are you watching from, and how's the weather there? I was just saying here in North Dakota, it's finally warmed up a little bit. We actually have some weather that's been decent, which is amazing. It's like right now, it's right at the freezing mark. And usually this time of the year, it's below zero or damn close to it. So this morning, I broke a 7.5 day fast this morning. It's the longest fast I've ever done. I use the Zero Fast Tracker. I started last Friday at 5:30 at night, and I ended this morning at 6:46, 181 hours fasting. This is when I got home last night. I took a screenshot to show my wife that I made it. This morning, before I broke my fast and before I ate, I step on the scale and I'm 207 pounds. This is the lowest weight I've been in over 30 years, since the 1995 sometime. This puts me down. Before I started carnivore and this way of eating, my heaviest weight that I ever recorded was in December of 2024. That was 347 pounds. Around that same time, I got medication from my doctor. I tried getting Wegovy or Ozempic to help me lose weight. My insurance wouldn't cover it, thank God. Knowing what I know now, I'm glad I did. My doctor prescribed me a different medication. It was a pill that was used for seizures. That side effect was weight loss. So I tried that. For 8 months, I took that medication, and in 8 months, I lost 12 pounds. I went from 347 pounds to 335 pounds in 8 months. After that, I found carnivore. Well, I found carnivore a couple months before that, and then in August of 2025, I started my carnivore experience. From there, I've lost a tremendous amount of weight quickly. I've lost 128 pounds in the last 17 months now. So I am absolutely amazed. And part of what I do now with my carnivore lifestyle is I do fasting. I do intermittent fasting most days. Very seldom do I eat 3 meals a day. When I break a fast like I am today, I ate several meals today. One meal this morning was a 8-ounce cup of bone broth, and that was my meal. And I waited an hour. I had 2 scrambled eggs, scrambled in bacon fat. Now I waited another hour, and I had 1 more cup of bone broth. Those are meals when breaking a fast. You've got to do stuff slowly and stuff like that. But 207 pounds. I haven't been this weight. I haven't been under 212 pounds. I was at 212 pounds in 2014 when I was doing Insanity. And that was the lowest I ever got. Smashed that. I'm 7 pounds under that now. Actually, that's 5 pounds under. I'm thinking 214. But that's amazing. One of the other things that the scale does, it gives you this information here for your weight. And this shows the comparison, not just the health status, but the last time I weighed, I'm down 6 pounds from that. My BMI is down almost a full point. My body fat, 22.8. That's amazing. But you look down here at the bottom, it says my metabolic age, and it says 58. Well, I'm actually 59 right now. The first time I ever stepped on this scale, it read my metabolic age as 65, and now I'm at 58. And that's amazing to me. It's been a really good fast. Oh, that's the one I was looking for. Let me drop. Dun, 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 dun. I want to drop this out. As I was saying in the beginning here, sorry about the language. I screwed up this morning, and I set up my Sunday live instead of this live this morning because I don't know why, but it just happened. Screenshots, that's where it's at. I track my macros when I do this, so it's easy to do. I don't eat any food. I track my glucose and ketones to see where I'm at. And I got this spreadsheet from a guy in Dr. Kilt's group to track ketones, glucose. It gives you the GKI and your Dr. Boz ratio. There's a spot to put your height in, and then it calculates your BMI off of your weight and everything here, neck size, waist size. And this is what I started at. And you can see that my ketones and my glucose did absolutely amazing on this fast. I didn't put my results in today on this spreadsheet yet, but it's going to be there. But if you look at the Dr. Boz ratio, for me, this is easier to understand. I like the Dr. Boz ratio, but getting down under 20 for the Dr. Boz ratio is a very intense medical therapeutic ketone levels. Your body is doing so much healing, and I got down to 15. But I only checked twice a day. I did check in the morning. This is after getting to work, so I was moving which does interfere with glucose and ketones. It's not a true waking up in the morning and before I ever get out of bed checking it. I did that for a week not too long ago, and I tried to do it here, and both times I tried doing it, I ended up forgetting about it and leaving my keto mojo sitting on my headboard when I went to work too. Terrible days. But, that's what happens. But I did lose some weight here, at least 8 pounds. And it's amazing what happens when you get on a proper human diet and start losing weight. Start feeding yourself properly. Uncle Willie's on a treadmill getting 10,000 steps and just finished 10 sets of 20 push-ups. Awesome. Great job on the pass. Thank you. Appreciate that, Uncle Willie. Hey, good morning, John. How are you today? It's nice to see you here. And Bride's Biscuit, good morning. Yeah, you prefer the BOS ratio of GKI. It's a little easier to understand. Anytime that if you're above 80 on the BOS ratio, you might be in ketosis, but it's not like a therapeutic level. If you're between 40 and 80, you're in a weight loss zone. Easy to understand. Between 40 and 20, you're in autophagy and healing and doing good things for your body. And then under 20 is for things like cancer and seizures and stuff like that, where advanced medical conditions that being in ketosis helps. And the one thing I learned on this extended fast this morning was I felt great after the 7 days. The previous times I tried doing 7 days, I failed because I failed to have my electrolytes on that last day, on the 6th day, whatever was going on. I forgot to have electrolytes, and then started getting the dizzy, lightheaded, and I had to break my fast. Well, this time I made sure I drank 2 electrolytes each of the last 3 days on the 7 days. So I had plenty of electrolytes, and I felt absolutely amazing through this whole thing. The only issue I had was being cold. And starting about day 5, I got cold, and I had a hard time staying warm. I put out a short video this morning just because of my weight loss. I was excited. I was so happy about it. I was still wearing my bathrobe, and it's a fuzzy, warm, heavy bathrobe. Even wearing that this morning, I was cold. It's just amazing. I'm still a little bit chilled right now, but not as bad as I was. It's amazing how quickly your body takes any nutrients that you give it and turns it into the heat that you need for being up for the day. Yep. So today was just an amazing day. This last week has been really good for my diet anyway, for work and for life. Extremely stressful day, week. This whole week has been really hard. A lot of stuff going on at work, a lot of stress, and I think I actually handled it very well. And I know from talking with my boss and the meetings that we've been in with our upper bosses, it's been one hell of a week. And I think I really handled the stress of what's going on really well. And I really put that into this way of eating for the carnivore diet, and from being in the deep state of ketosis the last 4 days that I was in. So the stress that I was receiving from above didn't bother me as much. And it may have affected my ketones and my glucose a little bit, because you could see here, even at the end here, my glucose during the day kind of stayed higher than I expected. I've an extended fast like this that I've done before, the 6-day and 5-day fast. My glucose generally in those fasts go down into the low 50s. And I didn't get anywhere near that. My highest ketones was at 5.1. The last 2 extended fasts I've done, my highest ketones for the last like 3 days or 2.5 days have been in the fives up to 5.7. But I think the stress and everything that I was under for this last week probably affected this year quite a bit. And that's where, if you look at the top up here with my BOS ratio, on the second, I'm still, my glucose and my ketones aren't up there where I think they should be. Not until, that afternoon. And then they stick around in that 2 mark for just too long, and they never go back up because that's where a lot of the stress was happening, and it just continued after that. But what are everybody's plans for today? I got a project I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna rope my son into doing it. I bought a new Pit Boss vertical smoker last night, and it's sitting in my living room. I got to put it together so it can be used. I bought a Pit Boss Austin XL last summer, and I absolutely love it. One of the things I really enjoy with it is I love to smoke the meats and stuff, but they're so easy. I like to cook. I've taken Pit Boss Austin XL, and I've made food for the guys that work for me. I'm part of our management team, so I do stuff like that. I make food, I bring food, I do stuff for my guys to show my appreciation for the hard work that they do and everything that we get out. And with this vertical smoker, I'll be able to do a little bit more. So it'll be actually kind of nice where I can make a couple of briskets and I can throw in a couple of chickens or pork ribs for people too, because not everybody likes beef, which is really weird. Some people do enjoy more chicken. And man, I really use more ribs. I love ribs. Bride's Biscuit lost about 4 pounds in January with 72-hour sardine fast and 48-hour water fast. That's awesome. You're settling back to a routine to reassess any next steps. That's great, Bride's Biscuit. I know you've been trying just to average 1 to 2 pounds a month, but in January you've doubled that and did 4 pounds with the fasting. That is truly amazing. John agrees. That's great, Bride's Biscuit. You had 111 blood sugar Friday morning. Maybe it was 2 sticks of butter in my ice cream Thursday night. That's a possibility. Do you use the same type of ice cream at all, or do you change up your ice cream or your butter at all? John says fasting is where it's at. I wish I would have listened to Jason Fung back in 2014. Yeah, absolutely. Jason is such a good inspiration. He has such good information. He didn't start fasting until 2025. Yeah. And I would have saved myself a lot of heartache. Absolutely. I didn't start truly fasting until probably February of 2025. I started doing the intermittent fasting and as a natural progression when I started the carnivore diet. And after that, I got into a little bit more. And the more research I did, the more stuff I found. And I found Jason Fung. I was like, man, I got to start doing these, 48, 72-hour fasts. And they were easy for me. And I progressed up to 6 days. And then I just finished my first 7-day fast, which was an absolute amazing fast. And as I said before, I won't do any more than 7 days in the wintertime because I get cold. This is going over 7 days is a spring, summer thing to do for me. Just too damn cold here to do anything more than that. But it's just so amazing that what this does. And that Renfrew scale is actually pretty cool to use. I really like the way it gives you this information here. Do I trust it 100%? No, I don't, because it's just calculations based on body composition. So It's kind of guessing on it. It's supposed to send like a sound wave or electrical wave through your body, and then depending on how it comes back, it's supposed to give you this information like your body fat and your visceral fat and stuff like that. I don't completely trust it, but you never know. Yeah, now I'm talking, my nose is starting to run, and I don't have a napkin in here. Oh, you make the keto chow ice cream with a Ninja ice cream maker. Okay, that's right. I I've never used keto chow, so I don't know. I've used the raw cream, raw heavy cream that's really thick. You can spread it like butter. I've used the raw heavy cream mixed with raw milk, 50-50 mix, in a ice cream maker with it's either one egg or five egg yolks, however you want to do it. And then my wife uses the allulose RX sugar, or what is it called now? Supercross, which is an allulose dextrose mix. And she's never had any issues with her blood glucose with that. But it could be, maybe they changed something in the keto chow. I don't know. That won't matter. He did a long fasting during the summer. It's still freezing to death. Right. I don't expect not to be cold, John, but I'll be able to go outside and warm up maybe. But right now, I'm at the whim of a heater to try to keep me warm. And when I'm working in the office with other people, I can't crank that sucker up to get myself warm. I'm sitting in there with my heated vest on, long sleeve shirts. The office is sitting at 72, and those guys are already dying at that. But in the summertime, I'll be able to go outside and warm up for a bit, and maybe not keep the office at 68. Maybe I can turn back up to 70 but that's my thinking. Then when I'm like on my days off or when I'm not working, I can be outside and be in the sunlight. Fasting is still pretty new to you, Bride's Biscuit. 48 hours right now feels okay to do. I know after 48 hours, other report hunger signals subsiding. I'd like to try to push it into that range at some point in the future. Yeah. And that's where, for me, that's where my hunger signals truly like dissipate and go away, is at that 48-hour mark. I, up until that point, I feel hungry, and I don't know, I get those hunger signals that like that. But I'm going to try something different now. I've uh, purchased something that I'm going to try and see how it works. My next extended fast, I'm going to do next extended water fast, 72 hours or whatever. I always get that hunger pang sometime between like noon and 6 o'clock at night. And I've done a little bit of research on it. And I'm going to try the ketone IQ from these guys right here, the ketone IQ. This was developed actually for the military use, which doesn't make it always right. But I've done a little bit of research on the ketones, the ketone IQ, and the other ketone supplements. Oh, hold on here. How do I turn this on? All right, so that was the bat phone. Yeah. I'm always at work, so my guys call me whenever they need to, and I don't mind. But yeah, hitting that 48-hour mark. Once you hit that 48-hour mark, from my experience, that's when the true hunger signal dissipates and goes away. And this whole 181 hours I just went, I may have been had a little bit of a hunger pain, but not much at all, and it was nothing like the start of the fast. But I'm gonna try the keto IQ on my next extended fast because I always start them like at 6 o'clock at night when I finish eating my evening meal. That's when I start my fast. So 12 hours, 18 hours, 18 to the 24 hours is usually when I have the hunger pangs and I want to do something to eat. And I'm thinking I'm going to try the ketone IQ because one of the biggest things that I've read about it is when you use a ketone IQ at that point, your ketones increase and it helps with the hunger, so the hunger goes away. And if it does that from that point, it might work. Uncle Willie, cold fasting too, you can't avoid it. No, but if you're in an area where you can get sunshine and you can warm your body like that, I think it would be much more bearable. You've been wanting to do more research and why that happens. You're thinking it has something to do with mitochondria and that sugaring warms up internal organs and produces the brown fat. I think you may be right on that, and that is some of the stuff that I have read also. You're having problems with the same thing that stalled me many times over 16 years. Don't know where to turn. The doctors have never helped me with the problem. Many years of stress give you hypercortisol. Yeah. And that stress sucks. And it's kind of scary at times. This is where you usually get discouraged. Well, don't get discouraged because you're doing great, John. I mean, you've lost a tremendous amount of weight, so you know your body's getting healthier. And eating a low carb diet makes a tremendous difference in how the body heals and how the body reacts. You think that drives things like Cushing's? Are you talking about the stress, the hypercortisolism? But it's just this last fast was just amazing for me, and kind of bummed that I missed starting the sardine fast with Larry on Carnivore Quest. It was cool to watch that video last night. I missed his live when he was actually doing it because that's actually when I went to Shields and got the Pit Boss grill that I wanted, the vertical smoker, and that's when we were there doing that is when he went live. So I didn't get to see that, and we had to go get my truck from my daughter, then go back and pick it up and get back. And when I got back, I was like, damn it, I missed that live. That would have been so fun watching Larry eating those live. You've had your adrenals checked, but like you said, yeah, they're clueless. You get the deer in the headlight look, but the tests are normal. Yeah, stress has been your downfall, Bryce Biscuit, many things regarding health. Managing that through other therapies along with carnivore was essential for your healing. And it is managing stress it's extremely important and how you do it. Some people enjoy the walking. Some people like lifting the weights. Some people just find something, a hobby to do to relieve that stress. One of the best stress reliefs I've had myself is I like target shooting. I like going out and shooting and hitting targets. And to me, that's very stress relieving. And I've always enjoyed doing that. And then from time to time, I do walk. I have not made a habit out of getting out there and walking. So And one of the things that helps me de-stress is cooking. I love to cook, and that's where I've learned to use my pit boss and my smokers because I really enjoy doing that. It's been so much fun. That's why I bought the vertical smokers so I could do even more smoke stuff. Um, you were told your adrenals were fatigued, whatever that means, and that you've had many things regarding hormonal health dysregulated. Yeah. Hey, good morning, Heather. How are you? You're laughing so hard at Larry sardines. You're having a hard time thinking about a sardine fast. The sardine fast is actually, like Larry said, it's a lot easier than what you think it is. And I went through that same wincing when I started mine. I was like, ugh, sardines. But they're really not as bad as your memory puts them out there to be and what people make them out to be. They're extremely filling. Now, you have to remember the cans that Larry's using, though, they're over 4 ounces a can. So 4 cans is a pound of food. They don't seem that much, so you really don't catch up with it. But that's a whole pound of food right there. John, what you've learned is the first hour and a half that you're awake is the most important time of the day. So you got to get up, coffee for an hour and a half, and then start your day, get in the sun right away. Yeah, I spend my day in an office and I don't ever see sunlight. And then once I get to work, in the wintertime like this, I don't see the sunlight unless I have to go out to do anything. Yeah, right in the morning, and walking. Yeah, the body gets out of the fight or flight response. Right, shed the cortisol from your wake up and all that's good. Hey, good morning, Terry. It's nice to see you here this morning. John says good morning. Bryce basically says good morning. You go on my porch every evening for sun and try to help the circadian rhythm. Yeah, I really enjoyed last summer for the first time in forever. I was able to be out in the sun without my allergies, without my sneezing, without being in misery. I spent so much time sitting in my front yard in a lawn chair, just in a pair of shorts, flip flops, and enjoying the sun. It was absolutely amazing. Can't do it right now. Might be 30 degrees out, but that's still, you don't want to do that. The red light therapy and add blue blockers. I see a lot of carnivore people doing that. I think they're blue blocker glasses. You see Coach Amy, Rock Coach Amy, she wears them. And there's a few others that you see with those colored glasses like that, and I do believe they're blue blockers. So the blue blockers do have a purpose. A lot of computers and phones you can set on a night mode on them, and at a certain time they change their screens to be put out a little less of the blue light, and it helps a lot with people. You do blue blockers after sundown. Then other therapies to improve your sleep. You've healed sleep apnea, in fact, but made many changes. Getting that sleep apnea taken care of, Bride's Biscuit, is a tremendous benefit too. There you saw my short video this morning, amazing success on the weight loss. So just to be clear, you just drink water, any electrolytes. Yep. I have my raw element. I have that. The last 3 or 4 days, I drink at least 2 full electrolytes when I was doing that fast. My last 2 extended fasts that I did, I was trying to do 7 days, and both times I failed because I failed to have electrolytes, got dizzy, lightheaded, and had to break my fast. And coffee. Now, you hear some people say that coffee, if you're trying to for autophagy and for other types of healing, that coffee will inhibit that. Dr. Fung says the opposite. You can have coffee, have a cup of coffee or two, and it's not going to affect your healing. So I do drink coffee in the mornings, even when I'm doing extended fast. And there are some days where I don't, not that often anymore. But if I am not drinking hot coffee, I'll drink hot water just to have something warm. And the last few days of my fast, when I'm getting cold, I definitely have to have something hot. And I'll drink my 2 cups of coffee, and then I'll drink hot water the rest of the day along with my element. The yellow lenses block partial, the orange block more. Yep. And that's what you see people wearing on some of the videos I've watched and some of the lives I've been in. People are wearing those orange glasses. Now you got to talk to the plumber. Oh, something went wrong with the water. Good luck with that. Hope everything turns out, Terry. Heather, the winter, I started MCT oil with vitamin D and K supplement. I do try to get near the window first thing in the morning, but it's winter. It's hard to get any benefits from sunlight. Yeah. And getting the sunlight from the windows, people say that you don't get the benefit from that either, but I don't know about that. There's supposed to be something about the way the sunlight goes through the windows to the beneficial rays that you're supposed to be getting don't get to you. But that might not be true. Yeah, you think it was Kelly Hogan as an advocate for red light mask? It might be. I can't remember who else I just saw. Somebody else was doing the red light therapy. Bridesmaid said she made element recipe for electrolytes and use those during eating fast. Yeah, the recipe is really good for electrolytes. You just have to find the right magnesium. I used to take the magnesium glycinate. I took that all the time for helping me sleep and whatever else, And when I made the element recipe for that, I used the magnesium glycinate. That has a terrible taste to it. It was probably the most disgusting stuff. I did not like it. Yeah, good luck, Terry. Lewis said that he used red light for a bit and doubted any benefits. Right, and I can't remember who it was that had like a big red light and they're running it on their chest, using it on their body, not just on their away from them. I can't remember who it was. That's what's going to bother me now. I'm going to have to go find that video again sometime. Now, so during February, hanging out with Larry and the crew at Carnivore Quest, Larry's going to be doing those different fasts through the month. How are you guys doing with that? Are you going to try to do those fasts with Larry? I know right now he's doing the sardine fast from Friday through Sunday, and then next weekend he's doing a 72-hour water fast. Is anybody going to be trying anything like that out there? Use the magnesium malate. Okay, didn't have any off flavor for you. That's good to know. I'm going to have to try that because the element is a lot more expensive, and you can make these drinks for pennies compared to what you're paying for. But overall, you get 30 packets of the element when you order the box. It's only like $1.50 per drink. That's actually not that much. You can't even go into the gas station and grab a water for less than that. So it's actually not that bad of a deal. It's just you have to pay so much to get it. You're going to do the water fast next weekend. That's good. But you're not going to do the sardine fast, huh, Heather? Come on. You're doing a 4-week break after the water fast, sardine fast you did throughout January. Yeah. If that's what your body's telling you to do, and you got to do that. Oh, you're still listening, but you need to replay because you missed what I said. It happens. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. Uh, just been a really good. It was a really good fast for me for the 7 days. I'm actually really, really happy of how it turned out and how well my body did with it. And I actually went longer without being cold than I did on my other fast. So it's pretty amazing to be able to run through a full 7 days, no eating. Best part is my wife and my son support me in it, so I don't get tempted to eat. Although my wife did make some food for my son on Wednesday, and on Wednesday afternoon I come home. I work from home Wednesday afternoon because I have a class I go to online, and I do it here instead of at my office. And I walk in the house and I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah, my wife was making homemade beef stroganoff in the crock pot. And that used to be one of our favorite meals. Just amazing, the smell of it. And John says, Larry's live last night was hilarious. First time in 23 years. He ate sardines. Yeah, it was just in his expression when his first bite. And then he realized it's not that bad. And then when he tried it with the mustards, that was funny. And then the spinal cord and spine, when he was eating those, his reaction to those was hilarious. I don't know if you can hear my dogs. The mailman just dropped mail on our mailbox. The dogs are welcoming and saying hi to him. He's just going nuts whenever he comes by. You were white knuckling for a bit at the end of your water fast. You were eating very low appetite during the fast, sardine fast. I ended up on 2 cans a day the last 2 days. That's actually pretty good. That's still a half a pound of sardines when you're eating that. So you're still getting nutrition. You're still getting what you need. White knuckling on the water fast, I don't know if that was more of a psychological issue. For the fast, when I do my fast, I plan in my head to do it a day longer than when I'm doing it. Because what I tend to do is if I'm doing a 48-hour fast, the last 24 hours of it, I'm thinking about what I'm going to eat at the end. So I start planning my meal. So by the end of the fast, I'm really bad off. So I extend my planning time for my fast. So like today, I actually, for my 7-day fast, I just finished, I was planning on eating around noon to 3 today, depending upon how I was. And then, so I had my 7-day goal yesterday. I was able to go until this morning. So I can break my fast slowly and much easier than what it would have been otherwise. You don't know how Larry eat 4 cans of sardines. The most you can do is 2, and you're stuffed. Yeah. And maybe because he did OMAD, he didn't have any more. I did it the way Dr. Boz explains it. I started my fast with, I didn't start my fast officially until first can of sardines. So I had my first can of sardines 5:30 in the morning. And that's when I started my fast. I did 2 cans 5:30 in the morning, 2 cans at lunchtime, and then 2 cans at night. That was on the first day. The second, third, and I actually did mine for 5 days. Second, third, fourth, and 5th days, I just did 2 cans in the morning and 2 cans at night. I don't know if I could do 4 cans at one sitting, even if I was doing OMAD, just because of how satiating those sardines are. I agree that it's hard to do more than 2 cans at a time for me. Larry said he used to eat and enjoy sardines with his coworkers back in the casino days. Yeah, he did. For Bryce for sure, you expect a lot of white knuckling is psychological, at least as much or more than physical. Yeah, it's you have to be in the right mind, and it's hard to get there when you're first starting out. I know the first time I did a 72-hour fast, it was pretty damn rough. Um, but after doing the 72 hours, the 48 hours, the next one I did was simple. Then I did another 72 hours, and it wasn't as bad. It's like anything that you do, and the more you do it, the better it gets for you, and the easier it gets. Well, the better it gets. The more likely you're to succeed with it. And, knowing what I know now about my electrolytes, I can go for a 72-hour fast without electrolytes, just drinking water, and I'm fine. Anything more than 72 hours, and I have to have electrolytes. Anything over like 96 hours, I probably need to be drinking 2 electrolytes a day, one in the morning, one in the early afternoon and evening, just so I don't have that dizzy, lightheaded feeling going on again. But it takes practice, and the more you do it, the better you get at it. It was just really, wait, hold on. And John says, yeah, I did many 10 to 20 day fasts. Had to stop them because of stuff like plumbing problems, the stress would make it harder for you. Absolutely. And I don't know. I'm going to do another 7-day fast probably at the end of the month. So I want to see how that goes. But this summer, I do want to try pushing it to 10 days and then 14 days to see how that goes. One of the things that after this full 7 days, 7.5 days now, my tinnitus is tremendously better today. I can't say I have ringing in the ears. It's more like a whoosh, just a hiss in my ears that is very faint, and it's really good. So I'm happy about that. Maybe when I do my next 7 day, maybe that will go away altogether. There's a certain zen you feel when you're dialed into your health. Absolutely. Following a solid protocol and trusting the process. Almost a stress reduction component. Yes, I completely agree with that, Bryce Biscuit. And that's part of getting into the deeper ketosis. When I get into the ketones start getting like above 2, there is a certain zen that your body feels, and you get into that, and it's just amazing how you feel and how you handle stress and how your body just reacts to different things. The only part that sucks is being cold, but I think this last extended fast, I was able to go longer without getting cold. So maybe my next one, I will be able to do even longer without it. Terry, you've done water, sardine, and egg fast in the past, and were successful. But these days, taking care of your mom only gives you 5 to 6 hours sleep. Yeah, checking blood glucose this morning at 130, and it was at 1:30 in the morning. It was at 128. Yeah, stress does that, and I know I've actually tested my glucose when I'm at work, and I've had stressful events go on at work. I've checked my glucose just to see what it does, and it's amazing what stress does to spike your glucose. But getting back to the 5 to 6 hours of sleep, that's what I normally get, and I feel actually it's easier for me. I feel better with 5 to 6 hours sleep as a carnivore than I did with 5 to 6 hours sleep on a standard American diet. Tremendous difference. And during my extended fast, I'd go to bed about the same time between 8:30 and 9. And I always woke up before my alarm, but I just lay in bed. I don't have need as much sleep, and I feel even more rested and more alert. So the extended fasting and fasting while being under stress and being uh, not getting the amount of sleep, to me, it seemed like it helped me tremendously. Bridesmaids might try extended 48-hour plus water fast at the end of February. Absolutely, give it a shot. It's plan for 72 and go for a 48, or plan for what would be 84 and go for a 72. As long as you make 75% of your goal, you're doing good. You've never had blood glucose that high, so you're guessing sleep is key. Absolutely. Um, do you check the blood, or you wear a CGM at all? I've been wearing a CGM for off and on for 6 months now, watching my glucose and stuff. It's amazing how inaccurate those are. And but if you check your blood with blood glucose and then you check your CGM, they can be off by a tremendous amount. And I tried the Lingo, which is like the Freestyle Libre, and I've tried the Stello, which is Dexcom. And I found that Dexcom was closer to what my actual blood sugars were reading from my blood instead. So that's what I've been using. But still, at times, it's off. Aaron's group did an egg fast and felt benefits from that one. I did an egg fast. I don't remember how long ago it was. It might have been about a year ago. I did a 5-day egg fast, and that was actually pretty good. I don't know why I haven't tried one again. I haven't. I did the egg fast when the eggs were extremely expensive too, but I liked it. You stay full on them, and it's not sardines, so maybe that is a good thing. Your tennis came back. Now that you're down to 190, you're working a lot more. The stress is getting to you, yeah, and that happens. Stress is terrible. Aaron, you agree? He was never a big sleeper, but it plays havoc on his system in the old age. I agree with that. You're ordering a CGM now? Yeah. I personally, I would recommend the Stello. It has been a very good system for me and my wife. My wife has moved away from her prescription CGMs to the Stello because they've been so inaccurate with the lingo and stuff. And she actually got a prescription for the Dexcom 7, but it costs the same as me buying the Stello. So we're just buying the Stellos. And I actually like the data that I get. I can't wait until the continuous ketone monitor comes out and is sold here. I really want to get one of those because it'd be amazing to have a CKM and a CGM on while doing an extended fast. Let's see. Basically, your blood glucose is all over the place between keto and many months into carnivore. It took a few years until but type 2 was reversed. Levels are close to optimal now, but insulin resistance is still showing. Insulin resistance is a hard one to get rid of, and it causes a lot of havoc in the body. I've never had mine checked. Now, I did check my A1C last weekend. I did do that. Let me drop one of these here. I went out to Walmart and I bought their that CGM that they have there, not CGM, the test that they have for where did it go? Dun, dun, dun. 'Cause Well, what the heck? I swore I had that sitting in here. I do know where it's at, but what I was saying is I went to Walmart. I got the A1C test that they have there. I did that test. I was kind of nervous because some people talk about their A1Cs going up on the carnivore diet. And a lot of that assumption is that it's gone up because your red blood cells are living longer. Now, is that true? I don't know. It might be. But I was kind of worried about it. Now, October of 2024, when I was seeing my doctor to help me wean off my last two blood pressure medications, I had fasting labs done. And my A1C in October of 2024 was a 5.2. Last Saturday, it was 5.3. So my blood sugars have been amazing since then. Terry, you like my shirt? Dante Ferrigno's site. I got this from Dante. He's got some really cool shirts in there. I've got a couple more of them. I've got an apron that I enjoy using. It's pretty good. But Dante's got some really good merchandise, and he's got some good links to stuff in his more information in the description stuff. He's got some good stuff in there. Bryce, your tinnitus still hasn't improved. You've had it for 42 years. Ringing is as loud as ambient room noise. Yeah, I've had issues like that too, and mine has gotten better through carnivore and then through the extended fasting. It's gotten better. And Bryce was telling Terry that the CGMs are very useful. It helps understand what's happening in your body and how it can be affected by diet and even lifestyle. Yes. The CGMs, whether they're accurate or not, they're showing you the trend of what's going on. So if they're 20 points off, they're 20 points off, but they're showing you the trend. So you can see if you're eating something that your body doesn't like, it's going to show it to you. John says, Bride's biscuit, as long as the insulin resistance is present, you're going to have inflammation, causing tinnitus, inflammation, and bacterial infections are the number one cause. And that is a big issue with a lot of inflammation, no matter what it's caused from. Like, yeah, I still drink coffee, so I know I still have inflammation from coffee because the coffee does have stuff that's not good in it. The mailman's driving on the lawn right over here now, delivering a package to the neighbor. Surprised my dogs aren't going nuts on that. But inflammation is getting rid of it is the key. And if you're trying to get rid of all inflammation, then the best thing to do is cut out all plants. Just eat that heavy meat-based, fat-based diet. And doing the extended fasting, I don't know how much of this here sticks into your fat. So when you do a fast, you're getting rid of more and more of that stuff that's even in the fat. And like my stomach, I could actually feel today my stomach is so much different than it was last weekend. My measurements I did this morning, I lost a quarter inch on my neck for this fast, and I lost an inch around my belly. That was actually amazing for me. Bryce biscuit, that makes sense. You know, your CPAP and set rate still elevated as well. Cortisol also slightly elevated. Yeah. Eating right and proper sleep, exercise makes a big difference. So you actually make it really nice to come in here and do a live chat. I appreciate everybody on there. Hey, to those of you on X, I got people on X watching, but you guys don't comment. Are your comments not coming through? Or are you trying to comment? Because I'm not seeing anything on here. I'd like to see you guys on X come in here and chat. Let us know what's going on with you, to just so we know. You know what I'm saying? I know I can go into X and they can look at this here, but I was just wondering if anybody in the X had any comments. They show up on the screen. We can chit chat. You see, I got Uncle Willie. He comes in here from Rumble, and then all the guys that come in from YouTube. Yeah, eat right, proper sleep, vitamin P. Absolutely. So, hey, look at that. It's 11 o'clock in Central North Dakota. Yes, the morning meeting with Larry has started, I think. Or should have started. Let me look. Yeah, he says he's live now. So I'm going to end my live stream. I'm going to go over into the Carnivore Quest live stream. YouTube Rise Biscuits, you have a blessed day, and everybody else, have a great day. If you want to continue chatting, please come over here. Come visit Larry and Carnivore Quest in his live stream. That's where I'm heading to now. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully I set everything up right tomorrow. Same time, 10 a.m. Central, and we're going to have a great day. Just remember, hey, eat meat, be happy. It's all it takes, man.